The South had a tremendous amount of inequality, and I'm not just talking here about the differences between white people and black people. I'm talking about the differences between white people. There were far fewer rich plantation owners than there were just average, everyday Southern farmers or poor people. But if you were to ask a poor migrant farm worker in the South, a person who was working side by side with slaves, doing these temporary jobs, who do you have more in common with? The plantation owner who hired you, or the slave who was working right beside you? The logical answer would be the slave, but the typical answer of a poor Southern white person was the plantation owner. After all, we're all white, and we white people have to stick together, because if we don't, those slaves are going to rise up and bring down the system. By keeping poor whites afraid of black people, fixated on their fellow poor people, rather than looking up and seeing that the rich, the plantation owner, was kind of exploiting everybody and taking advantage of everybody. It made it much easier to keep poor Southern whites in line and to maintain a system in which a tiny class of people was making all the wealth. It would have been far better for poor white people to try and actually join up with slaves and work to change the system and make it more fair for everyone. But the rich and the powerful, in many different times and places throughout history, have used a divide and conquer strategy. Keep the poor divided, and they're much easier to control and keep in line.